Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there preaching His word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping His word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I want to go into a quick lesson going off of the brother Elder Shaquat from the GMS Mississippi camp. GMS dedication is posted. He put up with this quote, which the quote, of course, it shows a light bulb, in front of a bunch of light bulbs laying on the ground that's not lit, with the one light bulb being lit. It says, "Be the light, even when darkness surrounds you." And the scripture he got attached is Matthew 5:13-16 in the GNT, which says, "You are the salt for the whole human race. But if salt loses its saltiness, there is no way to make it salty again. It has become worthless, so it is thrown out, and people trample on it. You are like the light for the whole world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a bowl. Instead, it is put on the lampstand, where it gives light for everyone in the house. In the same way, your light must shine before people, so that they will see the good things you do and praise your Father, Yahweh, in heaven." And this reminded me of a scripture. It reminded me of a dream I had 2 years ago, prior to me starting at the job that I'm currently at. And just to kind of go into it and not be, long-winded with it. I remember in the dream, I'm kind of get to the main point, but kind of build up to it. It was kind of like a stadium. It was like a soccer stadium, more so than a football stadium, because it was grass. And I think I remember seeing soccer goals, but it was like a field. It was like one field, and then there was another field right next to it, but you had stands like the football stadiums have. So like you got the stands on both sides, but then on the back side of one of the stands was another field. And I remember a bomb, like a ICBM type or a nuclear bomb, was getting ready to go off, getting ready to drop on one of the fields, the one behind the stands. So it was me and some more people running to the other side of the stands on the I say field 1 and then field 2. Field 2 was the one behind the stands. And so the bomb was finna drop on field 2. And so me and some more people was running towards field 1 and running to the other side of field 1 to try to get to safety. And I still remember it was a woman and a child. The woman had kind of like short hairstyle, not like bald. She wasn't Jake, or she wasn't at least the so-called black woman, but her hair was black, but it was kind of, I don't even know the hairstyle. It was kind of like cut and swooped to the side. I might have to see if I can find a picture and upload. I might make it the picture of the, I might try to see if I can attach it, post upload, so you can get an idea of it. But anyways, once I got to the other side, I saw her with the child, and it was a small number of people, maybe like 5 of us that made it to the other side. And a bomb winded up going off on field 2 and blowing it up. So anyways, I was inside of another unknown building somewhere I did not recognize. I don't know where I was at all. And I went outside of this building. Now the building was kind of like stony inside, like the walls, the ceiling, and even the floor was kind of like a khaki colored stone, almost, just to give an idea of what it was like. And I walked outside, it was pitch black outside, but it was a full moon, so the sky was lit up, and it gave just a little light to the surrounding area, so I could see a little bit around where I was at. But it was pretty much pitch black outside. And I know where that imagery kind of came from, because it kind of came from a previous job that I used to work at, where I used to walk outside a lot. And every time at night, it'd be dark because I was around woods, and because I was at like a little plant, and it would be woods and trees, be out there, and deers and different animals would be out there too. I seen all type of animals out there. But anyways, every time it was a full moon, it gave light outside, and I was able to see, even though it was dark, because there wasn't really no lights, no light poles or nothing like that, other than the light that was inside the building, inside the plant. So anyways, I knew that that's where that imagery had kind of came from, but it was pitch black out there, and the moonlight gave a little light. And I just knew it was kind of like some type of demonic energy out there. Like I felt like it was something out there, and I didn't want to be out there because I knew I felt that energy. So I came back inside the building, and inside it was like this person, but he wasn't fully like human. Like it was more so kind of like a creature that you might see off of Lord of the Rings or something like that. Something like one of the I don't even know what it's called, but I remember just seeing like the little creature thing from Lord of the Rings. But at least that's what I think I remember it being like, and he was talking to me, and I don't remember hearing him say anything, but I knew in the dream I was communicating with him because I was talking to him, and then we was talking about the bombs that had failed, and I remember saying Final Destination. It's like Final Destination because I was referencing the movie, but the words Final Destination came up. And then I also remember looking at the wall. Remember, it was the stone wall, kind of like a khaki colored stone wall. And I remember seeing the number 21 in red. And he had told me that I was the chandelier. That's how I heard it in the dream, chandelier. But I didn't realize until I woke up, and because when I woke up, I started to look up, what is a chandelier? I remembered it, and I knew, sometimes we had these dreams, you better look it up or write it down immediately because you will forget, So I had immediately look up, what is a chandelier? The only thing I came up with was chandelier. And then when I looked up chandelier, it had, it delved into candle. So, or it went back to candle or candles, or a candle maker, So I said, okay, let me look this up in scriptures. And when it came to it, lo and behold, it came to Mark 4:21. And this is the red that I seen on the wall. And this was 2 days before I started at the job that I'm in now. But this is Mark 4:21. It says, and he said unto them, is a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not to be set on the candlestick. So when I had read that, I knew this was instantly a spiritual dream, But like I said, this just seeing that scripture, like seeing that post that the brother made, it made me think about that. Like I said, you go into candle, which you ain't gonna go into it on here like chandelier or anything, but I might get it on Google. Let me see. Real quick. Cause like I said in the dream, I heard it as chandelier, but upon looking it up, it's chandelier, and it says a branched decorative lighting fixture that holds a number of bulbs or candles and is suspended from a ceiling. So bulbs or candles. That, like I said, this is all what made me think about that dream. And then it says a candlestick, lamp, stand, gas fixture, or the like having several branches, especially one hanging from the ceiling. And then what did the scripture also say about Yahweh Shai? He said, he is the vine, we are the branch. So I'm gonna read this again, and then I'm reading the AMP, then I'm gonna get that scripture. This is Mark 4:21 in the KJV. And he said unto them, is a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not to be set on the candlestick? And in the AMP it says, he said to them, a lamp is not brought in to be put under a basket or under a bed. Is it not brought in to be put on a lampstand? So he was just going into this word, and the people who have this word, which is the men of the Lord, teaching this word. Verse 20, I'm gonna read verse 20 in the AMP. And those in the last group are, because he was going to a parable, are the ones on whom the seed was sown on the good soil, going into the sower who sowed seeds in the different locations. And in the last location, which was the last group, which is representation of the elect, are the ones on whom the seed was sown on the good soil, and they hear the word of the Most High, the good news regarding the way of salvation, and accept it, and bear fruit 30, 60, and 100 times as much as was sown. And he said to them, a lamp It's not brought to be put under a book basket or under a bed, is it? Is it not brought in to be put on a lampstand? So now let's get one more. John 15:5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth with me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So without Yahweh we can do nothing. So like I said, it didn't switch. So let me see. Just going back to it, it just made me think about that. It just made me think about that, seeing that scripture in that post. So I just wanted to share that. Lord will was edifying on that note. Want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.